How's everybody doing today? Did you have a nice Easter? Unfortunately, I just heard that uh, Pope John Paul passed away, or not Pope John Paul, he passed away some time ago. Pope Francis passed away last night or yesterday at some point, which is too bad. Hey, Marianne. Hi, Kimberly. So, I don't have anything planned for today. I keep thinking, well, I'm going to make some fairy ears one of these days. I need to make like 3 or 4 pair, in fact. But somewhere I have notes and I haven't, oh, I just found them. Ha. The amount of wire I need for the fairy ear. And I was like, I'm not going to make those without the length of wire I need, because I hate excuse me, not having enough. So for some reason, I've got a little bit of a sore throat this morning. Not much. It's probably just dry, but Anyway, one of the things I was thinking we would do is I got a couple of big packages of pink beads from PK. It's not fairy wire, it's fairy ears. I needed the length of wire to make the fairy ears. Hi, Sid. And a fairy ear, because I figured the wire out some time ago. This is a blank for a fairy ear right here. And then what I do is decorate around the inner part, and this piece right here goes around your ear. I'm sorry you have an earache, Anita. That sucks. Anyway, this portion goes around the ear, and then you've got this little gap so it can go to the front. See the little gap right there? And then this is the front of your ear, your fairy ear. It sits in front of your ear, and then I decorate inside here. So there's some pretty there for some decoration for the ear. So that's a fairy ear, what a fairy ear looks like. That's the base of my fairy ear. That one's thin wire. I generally tend to use a lot heavier wire than that. That one was just my sample where I was working on figuring out exactly how much wire I needed. So yeah. That's one of the biggest things with doing any wire work, is figuring out how much wire you're going to need for it, because it doesn't always behave. Well, I never did. I've been searching through my boxes from Randy, because I was thinking that's where I got my big, crimp covers, but I haven't found them. I may have to order some more from her to finish that bracelet up. Where do I get the blanks? I make it. That's why I needed to have my wire measurement so that I could remember how much wire I needed to make the blank. So I make the blank for the fairy ear, and then I decorate it. I did get some. Hi, Tina. I did get some really cool. I'm not sure which box they're in. I would show them if I could. But I got some pendants with fairies on them the other day, and I actually wish I had got more than I got, but it's fine. I usually put some fairies on them, or just some really pretty flowers, that I've painted, or a hummingbird. Let's see, last year's I had pearl one that I put pearls around the edges, then did a swirl through the middle and hung another pearl. I've had ones with hummingbirds, ones with fairies, ones with just jeweled pieces, ones with flowers. So, hey, Gloria, I didn't see you pop on. But so anyway, that's some of the things that I usually do with those. But anyway, like I was saying the other day, and I don't know why I haven't showed it yet, I got this big bag of stuff from PK. Well, actually, technically, I got 2 big bags of stuff from PK. She says it's pink stuff. And I did go through it really quickly, but I haven't gone through it a lot, so I figured we'd go ahead and look at that today, see what I can find that I want to play with. Hey, Cindy. So, yeehaw, I got my tablet working on the chat today, so that's really nice, so I can see everybody talking to me, so that's lovely. So let's turn down and we'll see what we can find in this bag of all this. PK has been purging her beads. She says she doesn't do hardly any beading, so she's decided to purge them. So she gave me a whole bunch of pinks, and I think she's given Mary a whole bunch of stuff too. So anyway, let's turn down and we'll open this first bag up, see what all kinds of goodies she's put in here. Like I said, I just did a glance through it. I didn't really do a big study of it. Looks like I have both some gemstones and a lot of glass stuff in here, but let's turn down and we'll take a look at it. Come on, turn. There we go. So here is our big baggie. And when I say big baggie, this is a Ziploc, and it looks like a gallon Ziploc bag full of stuff in here. So I'm just gonna, how am I gonna do this? I guess we can just dump it out, and then I'll put stuff back in as we look at it. Though I see loose beads in here, so we gotta be careful, or I'll be having beads everywhere. What else is new, right? I'm always dropping beads. So let's see what we have here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There's some rose quartz trying to escape there. Looks like we have, oh my goodness, there's a Gollum bead in here. I'm in love. So let's get a couple of trays out for these loose things. So, you're not into pink? Yeah. Oh, this looks like a mix of stuff. Looks like some shell flowers, and that might be cherry quartz in there with it. Those are pretty. You see those? So there's, looks like some of these are loose, so I don't want to pull it out too much. Oops, there's some more of those rose quartz trying to escape. There's another one here. I'm going to have to be careful here. It looks like I have all kinds of rose quartz floating around in the bag. So anyway, I'm going to just pull these out a little bit, not entirely, because, oh, see, now we have some clear drooks between it. And this one looks like its drill holes off really bad. It's come up way into the flower, but those are cool. And then, like I said, there's appears to be some, I think this is cherry quartz in here. Looks to be anyway. So that's pretty. I have to separate these out and take them to my boxes from separate them between glass and gemstones, since that's how I separate them. Let's see, we have, well, this was $10. It's pink coral rounds. They're loose, so I'm not going to pull them out. I can see there's 3 or 4 off the strand at least. So 4mm pink quartz. Geez, maybe I should be separating these between gemstones and glass right now. Selection in. Okay, these are little, they're little pink like leaves with, their hole is across the top, right here, from here to here. So those are little pink leaves. Those are glass. See, I need to separate these two right now between glass and gemstones, but that's all right. What do we got here? This is a strand of Jesse James beads. Got some big, pretty crystals in here. Oh, wow, look at this giant bicone. Isn't that pretty? Well, there's a couple of those. So that's a really pretty strand. I have a whole bunch of Jesse James bead strands that I haven't used. I sort of hate breaking them up sometimes, you know. Let's see. This looks like it's Malaysian jade, you know, the quartz that's been dyed to a specific color. So we got some pink Malaysian jade. Always fun. And now, when I thought I had a lot of my beads all separated out, then I remembered, oh yeah, I got this on the, whoa, what are these? They're crackle. Anyway, they look to be, yeah, they're definitely crackle, but they look to be gemstone, but I'm not sure what kind of gemstone that would be, that color. I like them though. You have 2 drawers of JJ beads? So do I. I have done that before, Marianne, just taken them off the strand and made a bracelet out of them with the JJBs. Now, this is porcelain. I can tell from the looks of it. It's pretty cool, though. Pink and gray. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, look, there's some rhodonite. But then I thought, no, that's not, that's glass. So these are some glass beads. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, look, 2 little pink elephants and a pink I don't know what. It's a big focal bead anyway. It might be clay. Yeah, I think it's clay from the feel of it. It's got a big hole. I can put that in about anything. These little elephants' hole is from top to bottom. I mean, from their back to their feet kind of thing. But they're cute, don't they? So little elephants and a big clay bead. Let's pull out this Gollum bead. I think it's on a JJB strand, because for a while I know they were doing Gollum beads on JJB strands. And yeah, it is. That's a really pretty Gollum bead. We may have to make a bracelet or something out of that one, because it's just really, really pretty. Of course, these other beads are not going to be large hole enough to be put on leather or anything, probably. This one might be, but I don't think our big one is. Let's see. No, I don't think so. But that's a gorgeous Gollum bead. This one has to come off of this strand and go into my Gollum bead box. So I'm going to put it aside over here. Oh, there's some more loose rose quartz and something white. Interesting. There's some lucite flowers. I'm going to put more things in trays. I better get it out. So here's some lucite flowers in 2 colors of pink. Now these are the littler ones, and I like to take a bigger one and put over the top of these littler ones to make it look like a, you know, a flower that's sort of stacked. See, there's a dark pink and a light pink in here of our lucite flowers. And then you can put another bead or a strand of a wire down and make some stamens kind of thing. So those are cool. So, hey, Georgina. They're strawberry quartz, maybe? That's true. Could be. Yeah, I see that golem too. I was like, ah. Okay, it looks like I have some matte rose quartz here. There's another one of those loose white beads. I'm not sure what those are. Then you go to the tray. Oh, and there's some more loose rose quartz here. But this is a strand of frosted rose quartz. Those are quite pretty. Oh, nope, it says jade. $12. Strand of jade. Interesting. Pink jade. Very pretty. What do we got here? Around. So this is like a mermaid bead with pink on one side and gray on the other, it looks like. That's interesting. You don't usually see it pink and, you know, two tones like that. Usually there's a pink and then maybe a paler pink or clear so the pink shines through. But that's almost a gray silver color that's on this side. Well, huh. If you turn it sideways, it looks like it is clear, but when you turn it this way, it's not clear. But that's an interesting strand of beads. I hope I'm keeping these under the camera so you can do that. So this you'll notice this golem bead on these JJBs have very little other beads on here for a JJB strand. They did this for, I think it was last summer or the summer before. They did a few different strands with the golem beads. They don't do very many, but they did do some. I can remember when they did it because let's see, we got all kinds of little seed beads in here in various colors. I'm not going to pour it out. Looks like it was a gift from some place she ordered from. There's also some little 2-hole diamonds in here, which if I want to make a bracelet out of those, I could, because there's 2 holes and then there's all the colors. It would be a little intense, but that's all right. Then we have some crystals. It says by the bead. So these are an orangey pink color. So many cool things in this box. So, they are pink. They just have some kind of a wash on them that makes them look sort of orangey, like a gold wash. They're really pretty. I don't know how well, if you can see them very well. Of course, it's not going to want to focus too much with with all these things down on the desk below me. But pretty crystals. Those will have to go in my tiny beads box. Oh, here's some more rose quartz. Ah, okay. Here's where they came from. Oh, it says new jade with a carved oval. I don't think they're in the rights box. New jade 8x15 carved oval. I don't think that's what this is. This looks like rose quartz to me. And there's 2 rose quartz in this bag. I wonder if something else came out of this bag, or if she just put these in the bag because it was handy. I do that a lot of times. As a handy bag, we'll put things in there. Looks like we have 2 little strands of tiny pink rondelles. Those are in sea glass or matte, whichever you want to prefer to call them. So you're getting bead envy? Yeah, I hear that. Now these are also look sort of like no, No, these are dyed. This is some kind of dyed stone. It's probably dyed quartz. Pretty pink dyed quartz. These are 6s. Oh my, there's a couple of big packages in here. We have some little pearl rondelle in a really pale pink. Those are pretty. I like those. What am I going to use those for? I'm going to use them for something because might make good spacers. So there's those. Looks like we have a couple of cubes here. Cuboid rose quartz, 2 pieces. Some of these bags are actually telling us the truth. I can tell by looking at them. Come on, little cuboids, come out of there. So you can go in the tray, at least one of them. So that's a nice, nice rose quartz. The hole goes from top to bottom in the larger way. So it's right there. Though there's only 2 pieces, so we'd have to work this in with something else. Or put them on earrings or something like that. Oh, here's some more pearls. All kinds. It looks like, it doesn't really look, there's not a lot of pink in there. I see orange, maroon. Well, this is a grayish, silver grayish color. Says 4mm fall colored mix in pearlized spacer glass beads. So little guys, but very pretty. Here's some more rose quartz, but these are 6s. Very pretty. Just when I think I'm getting my gemstones a handle on them, I go through this box and find a whole bunch of gemstones. Oh, here's some strawberry quartz. Looks like this came out of a bargain bead box because it's got the little labels they used to use all the time. Well, those are pretty. I like those a lot. So I have to take this stuff and I'm going to have to separate it all up. Oh my. What do we got here? Gemstone beads of the month, rose quartz. There's a heart. 8mm hearts. Here. A diagonal drilled square. A faceted round. Looks like they're all listed on what they are here. Faceted rondelles, 3x5, a pendant, and faceted rounds. Well, let's open this baggie up and see what the little cases look like here, what we got here. Okay, these are BR rondelles. These are cute little boxes. Not sure I'll leave them in these boxes because it's not the style of things I leave. This is a pretty rose quartz pendant. Where's the hole? Where's your hole? Oh, there it is. Ooh, that's way up at the top. I don't like how close that is to the top. I'd be worried about that. This will probably get wire wrapped because, like I said, the hole is way, way up here. So there's hardly any point left there. Bye, Gloria. So that's a really pretty pendant. And then we also have in here, okay, they are drilled sideways. I can see the drill from here. It goes from, so it makes a sort of diamond shape. And we have hearts and we have rounds in here. So here's the little rounds. And this is the little hearts. And they're all made out of, they're all rose quartz. So we'll put these back in their little case here. I see something that says Swarovski on it here. I have to see what that is. Let's put these in here. What are you doing? What are you? Ooh, for 2 little cubes. The hole goes right here. So it looks like it would stick out. And these are dollar bead box things. Huh. Oh, there's another one of those rose quartz beads floating around. These are pretty. These are square rivolis. Not sure if I have anything that they'll fit into. We'll have to find out. They're pretty. They're orange. They painted orange on the back to bring it through the crystal. Looks like this was some more JJB that she has probably used part of, because this has obviously been split. I could pour it out in one of the trays. So we have some roses and some gold, some big pretty crystals in here. There's a few more down in there. I didn't pour them all out into the tray, but there's quite a few pretty things here. So see, looks like some glass pearls in pink. Oh, we have some fiber chain. Not a big long length, but some. Now, the nice thing about fiber chain is that it's really, really lightweight. And so it makes for a really pleasant, it's not hard to wear because it's not heavy. So fiber chain in pink. Now, I wouldn't call these pink. I'd call these orange, but they're crackle. Looks like some crackle, matte crackle jade, probably. Or, Malaysian jade, dyed quartz. So those are pretty. Oh, here's some table cut pink. With the Picasso side. So it's pretty. Hi, Bonnie. It's not an order. It's a gift from PK. She sent me a whole bunch of pink beads. So what have we got here? Oh, it looks like one of those necklace things from Randy that she was used to put together. It looks like there's got chain and some beads and all kinds of goodies in there. Here's another JJB mix. This one is the Fuchsia Fedora. Looks like a lot of pink in here. These big drops make really cool earrings if you put a filigree wrap across the top. I may have to see if I can find my filigree wraps and do that. These are Preciosa. It says Preciosa pressed beads strung round opaque pink. So anyway, they're pink drooks. Here's some more glass pearls in this baggie. I think I'll see about transferring them to a smaller baggie. This baggie's pretty big. So, and these are a pinky orange color. They're rather pretty. So these are pretty pearl here, glass pearl. I've been cleaning up so many things that I have baggies all over the place. Now here's some 2-hole beads, but they're weirdly enough, even though they're square, their 2 holes are at the top rather than through the middle. So that's interesting. It's a pink with a gold wash over the top of it. So well, like I said, I hadn't really looked through this much. When it first came, I glanced through it, but I hadn't really done any study of this to see what all was in it. And boy, did she send me some wonderful things. So let's see. Here's a whole bunch of these escaped rose quartz and whatever the white ones are. They look like they could be. Not sure, they could be shell, I suppose. Oh, there's a pendant piece. Oh, well, now this one, this is rose quartz, but it's on the Hildy and Joe strand, but they're the same. So I'm wondering if there was 2 strands and one of them was open. So I'm just going to put this in here, even though this definitely is not what this is, and see if I got any more loose rose quartz beads here. Looks like no, so we'll just put the rest of these in here with these and keep them together. So I thought I was done separating, or no, I didn't think I was done separating beads. I have a whole bunch more that aren't separated, but what have we here? What is this? What did you send me, PK? This looks intriguing. Thank you. Huh. Wow. I'm not sure. Very, very large hole bead. I'm not sure what I'd do with that, but it's really cool looking. Since it was all wrapped up in bubble wrap, I'm going to assume that this is ceramic. Feels like it might be. So we'll hook this back up here. It's a very strange bead. Hey, Dorothy. Here we have a pendant. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a cabochon style pendant, so I'll have to either wire wrap it or find some kind of bezel for it. Oh, come on, open it, Baggy. Not sure if this is one of those ones the paper in the back pulls off or not. It's got roses on it. Isn't that pretty? Oh, now you go back in your baggie. Didn't want to come out, now you don't want to go back. There we go. Okay, ooh, look at these big, huge guys. They're cut across this way from here to here for the hole, but they are frosted side with a shiny front. Those are pretty cool. There's 3 of those in the bag. Down you go. So then we have this package, which has, oh, I thought those were leaves, but I think they're little lucite flowers in here, along with the all kinds of odds and bits in here. There's some oh, what do they call these ones? With the hole off-centered like that. They're not pips because they're not the right shape, but, well, maybe they are. But some little green lucite flowers. Now, those would go on the top really nicely of a piece. So it looks like a little part of the flower kind of thing. So that's an interesting package of stuff. Looks like we have some Miyuki long drop seed beads. The hole is up here on the edge. I'm not going to open all these up. I don't want to lose them all over the place. So those are pretty. Excuse me. Got a little bit of scratch in the throat today. Here's some rondelles, some pretty little, well, these are discs. And I love a disc. Those are pretty. I like them. Bye, Tina. This isn't an order, it's a gift from PK. Mother of Pearl, made in China. I wonder if that's these few here. I think it might be. So then we have, looks like some melon beads. Yep, it's melons. Pretty pinky orange color here. These are little guys, so I'm not going to open them up. They're little pink and clear faceted rounds. Look like probably maybe 3 millimeter. And then the last from this package is another one of these little packs that she got, I don't know where from. I've never seen this kind of thing before. Looks like there's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 6 in here, but there's now 4. So she's obviously used a couple of them. So let's see what we got here. These are cute little cases. They'll probably come out of these cases unless I just drop them in the cases into the box, whatever I put them in. But these are obviously it says Swarovski crystals. So here's some like cyclamen, I guess is what they call that, in cubes. And then that same color in little butterflies. Now I have black butterflies, so we might have to put these together with some. Now this is the same kind of thing as that other little package was, with the hole being more to one side than the other. This calls these rose water opal. So it looks like the item that's missing, excuse me, is the pendulum bead and gray pearls. So, but these are really pretty. And I'm certainly not going to complain about getting some Swarovski. So let's put these in a bag. See if I have a little bag for these guys over here. Here we go. So now that's one bag. She sent me 2. I have 2. I have a whole nother bag here. See? Whole nother bag here. Oh, these look more browns than pink, so now she sent me these a little while ago, and I hadn't really looked through them. I opened the box and put them down, and then sort of forgot them. And when I was looking for something else, I found them again. And I'm like, whoa, Rose, why did you not work with these? instead of just dropping them wherever here. Fusion bead sticker here. Looks like a lot of these came from the bead gallery. And like I say, they're all kinds of, oh, here's some bone, and no, they're wood, and they're escaping. This has got a hole in the bottom of their bag here. But there's some nice wood tubes. I thought it was bone when they first dropped out, but no, these are wood. 5 by 30 millimeter rosewood, Costa Rican rosewood tubes. They're pretty. I have to find us, do something with those because I like those. Not sure if there's any more. There's one more down there. Any other escapees? So anyway, all kinds of things from Bead Gallery. 4 millimeter pentagon faceted round beads in gold, rose gold matte plated hematine. Those are an interesting cube-like pattern. Hey, Mary. Well, it's good that it wasn't a total washout, Mary, your show, but wind is never fun when you're trying to have a show. So, oh, let's see, are these the same thing? 8 millimeter, 16, nope, two different numbers. 16014. Check fire polished faceted glass round crystal blush rose over half rose gold. Well, I guess technically they are pink, though to me they look more brown. These are check fire polished faceted glass crystal half rose gold. Well, that's got the same description more or less. Oh, blush and red and rose. Okay. So those are pretty. Looks like there's a whole bunch of glass pearls here. Glass pearl 6 millimeter round dark scarlet. Looks more like brown to me than scarlet, but whatever. Take your word for it. But here's some rosaline. Pink check glass. Light pink check glass fire polished faceted rounds 8 millimeter. So, like I said, rosaline. Oh, wow, there's some real pearls. Those are freshwater pearls, dyed freshwater pearls from Bead Bliss. Those are fun. I'm going to enjoy those. Looks like we have some little 2-hole beads here. Sometimes I like a little 2-hole bead for bringing things back together when I'm making multiple strands. The 2 holes, you know, can bring the... Oh, there's 2 of the packages of 2 holes. Are they the same color? No, I don't think so. Dark copper coated crystal check duo 2 holes and bright rust coated check glass. So yeah, they are 2 different colors. They're tiny, but we'll figure out something to use them with. Here is some 2-toned glass rondelles. Looks like clear and copper. Oh, well, good music is always nice. Yeah. Well, when it's windy, I don't use my tent either because it's like, I don't like to play Let's Chase the Tent. It's no fun. So it looks like we have some more rose gold. The other ones weren't rose gold, were they? The first ones we looked at. plated hematite 4mm pentagon faceted beads. Ooh, these are some little guys. 3mm, 100 pieces. Might be. I don't know. She might have opened them up already too, though. Brown iris coated crystal check glass, fire polished 3mm rounds. What do we got here? Looks like, oh, look, a little couple of copper roses. Aren't those cute? Spacer gunk. Got some 6mm crystal rose gold coated check glass fire polish. Now, these are, I like this color. It's pretty. Whoa, look at the various shimmer on those. Those are pretty neat. I like that. Four by 6 pink with RB luster faceted glass rounds, 4 by 6mm. So in other words, they're rondelle. Well, it says open it this way, so let's see if I can get it open with plug here. That's a long strand. It's a real pretty long strand too. I really like this color here. Let's wind you back up in your bag here. Then we have two more of these pentagon style things. I think these are probably the same color. If not, they're close. Chocolate brown matte and chocolate brown plated. So they're the same color, but one's matte, the other one's is not. 16-inch strand of pentagon faceted round beads. Those are interesting. I don't think I've really seen this shape too much before. And here's all kinds of them in there. And now she sent me a whole bunch of little pendants, light stone drops, 4 by 20mm pendants. Come here. So they're stone, all right, and they're all different colored. So most of them have a bail on them, which I would probably take off anyway, and though there's a few without. Those are some pretty stones. That's howlite. See, they're red agate or carnelian. There's a red jasper. This looks to be tree agate. See you. Well, I thought this one might be tiger's eye, but I'm not sure. Might be a jasper. Pretty little tiny points, though. Unless I were to put these on a thin chain all by itself, I'd probably use these as little drops down a, so like find a focal that they go well with and use them like so up your necklace. But we'd need something in the middle here. Not sure that's the same stone. It looks just a teeny touch different. But they're pretty cool. Tiny little points. So that is my stuff I got from PK. Quite a really fun mixture of beads. Like I say, it's quite a mixture too. We have gemstones, we have glass, 1 or 2 pieces of metal, but 1 or 2 is all. But this little guy's going to have to come off of here and go into my Gollum box. Yeah, that's true, Mary. You don't know what you're getting when you open it. Oh, yeah, that I've had to have that happen before in shows I've been to before too, Mary, holding them down. I've had to hold them down before. One of my shows, like the Beltane Festival that I'm going to do in a few weeks, and the Renaissance festivals always say stake your tents down really good, because they're up for 3 days. You know, we put them up Friday, and then the show is Saturday, Sunday, so we don't take them down till late Sunday. So they always say long stakes and weights if you've got them. So mine, I always put in the long tent stakes you can get that are about yay big. They look like a big, well, I guess you call them a stake. But they're like yay long, like a giant nail. And then I have smaller ones that I put around the 2 sides that are always stay down. Because when I'm doing a show, I have 2 sides open and 2 sides closed. So when I'm doing one of those 3-day shows, and then so I then stake those down with smaller stakes. Most canopies come with a few stakes, and those are the smaller ones that I use to put around the edges. And that's just to keep the sides from flapping around a lot. And then I have these big, they're like about that big around and a couple inches thick. And they're like a big plastic piece, but they fit over the edge of the leg. There's a hole like so that goes to the middle, and you slide it over the leg, and they weigh like 20 or 30 pounds a piece. They've got concrete in the middle of them. And I've got 2 sets of those, and because of the way they're made, they've got these little bumps on one side and hollows on the other side. So when you put them on your leg, if you put one that way and then the other one the other way, they sort of those little bumps and hollow spots hook together, and they don't hook hard, they just sort of slide into each other, and so it makes them really great for holding things down. How do I price these beads since they're free? That's exactly what I do, Mary. I estimate what they probably cost. I might find something that was similar, like the rose quartz, the 8mm rose quartz and the 6mm rose quartz. I can probably find a price for those. The sea glass, there was one little strand of sea glass in there, and I'll be going down to the ocean next week, and one of the shops I go to, Beluga Beads, sells strands of the sea glass, and I think they sell them for like $3 for a strand. So they end up being like 3 or 4 cents a piece. So you can estimate those things by what they would cost you to make them normally. So anyway, I'm going to cut this strand apart, and I'll put the Gollum bead in with my regular Gollum beads, and I'll put the other ones in a baggie so that they can go in with the rest of the things until I get them put away. Which I'm still working on my own beads that I've always had, trying to get everything put away, and easier said than done, you know. You just always you think I think I've got them all found and put away, and or you know, I'm not put away, but you know, I found them all, I think. And then lo and behold, I'll find, like I did the other day when I was looking for something else, and inside a drawer I found that big huge sack of all kinds of beads that I got at the Long Beach store when they were closing down. And I was like, oh, well, so much for having everything put away, because you don't. Yeah, see, this is a regular size hole in here. And they've been on here for a while, because see, it's dirty here. I'll have to dust these off. So, but, and these beads have started to tarnish, but these are large hole spacers here. These 4. So we'll get my sunshine cloth out and clean those up a little bit. And even here beside me, I keep finding things like, look, there's a little package of crystals, and they're from Egypt. So these are little Egyptian crystals that I found in this little box the other day. And it's like, geez, Rose, do you have everything? Do you have things sitting everywhere? And apparently I do. So these Gollum beads, though, I found them. They have them on Art Beads and on Sam's, and I actually found the exact one that we used in the bracelet, this one here, and it's still on the Art Beads website. They still have them, even though a lot of these are like 2 or 3 years old. And since this is a single, it can go in here. And they're $9.59 a piece. I'm not even sure where I got that little box of crystals. I wonder if I have a sale. Oh, 6mm, 42 pieces, $4, making them about 10 cents a piece. Actually, they should be 11. No, 4. So it doesn't have a sticker that lets me identify where I got it from, but I love these Gollum beads, and I haven't used them much. I sort of hoarded these ones, and like as you can see, I bought them in pairs, which means there's like, since these are like $9.50 a piece, there's like 20, 40, 60, 80. There's a couple $100 of Gollum beads in here. These little guys are a little less expensive. I think these came out with at Christmas time because they look like gingerbread. And then, of course, this one came out at Christmas time. And I paid $5.75 for this one because I got them on a live sale from when Softlex was, you know, they cut the price on some of the things a little bit when they sell them. So some of them are more expensive, some of them are less expensive, but they're... It's my Gollum bead box, which also has my fairy bottle in it. So, you hoard your Gollums too? Oh. Yeah, it was a really great bargain on these crystals, but I think I've had them for quite a few years. I was surprised when I was digging around looking for something else up here in this shelf. I don't keep a lot of various things here, but it's one of the places I keep my little trays and stuff. So I was digging around and I saw that little box, and I'm like, what the heck is in this little box? And I open it up. I turn it over, and lo and behold, it's crystals. And I'm like, whoa, the heck are you got those crystals sitting up there hidden? You won't use them if they're hiding. So, it's my metal trays and my plastic trays. As you can see, I have plenty of them. Actually, I have a whole bunch of these. I should just show you what I mean. Just a second, and I will. We've been on for about an hour, so we won't be on much longer, but I will show you what I mean by a lot of my little metal trays. The bead store I go to down in Missoula, these are used because they used them in the store, and then they decided they didn't need them anymore because they changed the way they were doing them. So they sold me this whole huge bag of them, which I don't need all these, but you know, they do need some cleanup because they had stickers stuck on them. But and I think one of them's bent because there's a weird wonky going on here on my trays in my pile. But oh, this one's a slightly different shape, it looks like. Huh, that's weird. Come here, you're a little smaller. Interesting. I think there's another smaller one. Yep. Anyway, so I bought this whole huge big bunch of these for, what was it, about $2.50. I'm like, so I was like, well, I love I like these. I use them a lot. They need some cleaning, but this one's a little bent. There we go. It's back in shape. Like I said, they need some cleaning to take the rest of these stickers off, but they still work really just fine. So I was like, wow, sure, I'll take them. I use those. Hey, Cynthia. You have two of these trays, but they seem to get lost in your mess. I like these because they're great for scooping beads up. These are great for holding them, and they'll scoop beads up pretty good too. But these actually do a better job when you're scooping your beads up because, here, I'll show you what I mean. Because you just, you know, then they just go into there. Let's just do this. So here's that strand, the rest of the strand of Jessie Bae's beans, and you just go like so. Got most of them in your tray, and then you can just do like that. So it makes life really simple when you're having to pick stuff up. So I really like them for that reason. Hey, Heather. How are you doing? Scoopomania. Yeah. So I got a ton of these. Some of them, like I said, have a little bit of bends in them and need to be straightened, and a lot of them need to be cleaned up. But, I mean, these are usually like, when I first started buying these, they were like 50 cents a piece. Nowadays, you can't get them for less than 75 cents. And I got this whole huge thing, even though they're, see, this one was 50. These are the newer ones. most of these I got for 50 cents, but I know that the anymore they're selling them, I think, for 75. So when I saw this big bunch of them for that price, I was like, I really don't need that many of the metal trays, but Hector, that is like, these little metal trays like this. Yeah, the sharper edges are great for scooping things up. These I got, like I was saying, I got these at a store down in Missoula called the Crystal Limit. They used to keep their loose beads in these, and that's why they have tags and stuff on the edges of them here. And they need cleaned up, but I got this whole big, huge stack of them here for $2.50. So oh, you've got to be kidding me. Really, Heather? They're accusing you of stealing Amy's subscribers, somebody was? Well, that's bull bunk because you have always been on with Amy. So just because you've decided to start your own channel since she hasn't been doing anything, and you're handling everything, then that's just crap. So anyway, I got these at one of our local bead stores down in Missoula for all of these for $2.50. They're so cheap. They were so cheap, though you will need to clean them up some. I'd be willing to give some of these to people, but you'd have to pay the postage because I wouldn't want to pay the postage for them. But or if you buy something, I could flip something from my shop. I can always flip some of these into, for the people I know are beading people, I could always flip some of them into your package. But like I said, these are like I bought these ones that I paid 50 cents for some time ago. And at another local store. They're from Spokane, though. I think they're called Beads of the World or something like that. So I don't go there very much anymore. Because after COVID, I haven't gone to a lot of the ones I used to go to all the time because now I just buy online more than anything. I know that Randy used to sell them, but I think she charged 75 cents for hers because that might be what it cost her to get them anymore. I don't know. How much did you pay for the ones from Randy? I can't remember what she's charging for them because I don't buy them since I have so many of them already. And I've only taken a few out of this package. There were a few more in here. I've taken a few out and cleaned them up a little bit. And so, yeah, that's what I figured they were anymore was 75 cents. So anyway, another thing with, I know Amy's having problems, and I know why she's having the problems, which I think is a bunch of, excuse me, I was going to say a dirty word. Why she's having the problem is not that she's having it, but why she's having it is a bunch of bunk. But you were always on with her. You always helped her carry the load. And so to say that you're stealing her subscribers, you helped her get those subscribers. So, so you decided to start your own channel and get a little bit, how do I want to put it? Get a little of the recognition because you should. You're the one doing stuff now. And I know that when Amy comes back, you guys will work it out and you'll work together like you always have. So And so, it's a bunch of crap giving you, and so just ignore them. It's sort of like the other day I got a dislike on one of my necklace videos that was one of the long ones, and I always warn right up at the top, this is it of my description, this is a long video. So if you don't want to watch it, or if you want to fast forward through it, hey, I understand that. But the woman, it was a little over an hour video, excuse me, and the woman said to me, "You could have done this video in 15 minutes." And I was like, "Why would I want to do something like that in 15 minutes? I'm supposed to be doing a tutorial. How can you do a tutorial that's took you an hour and a half to make something? You've already slimmed it down by fast forwarding places. How am I going to do that in 15 minutes? What am I going to teach you if I do it in 15 minutes?" You know? So Amazon has them, Bonnie? Yeah, I'm sure they do. And I'm sure there's a lot of jewelry stores. Ooh, there's one of those rosewood beads. It fell out. I gotta find the package. Oh, I like those. I might have to make something with those. So anyway, it's just crap. They're nearly $1 each at Amazon. Exactly. Exactly. You know, the only thing that, speaks to me as far as you and Amy are concerned is that once Amy decides um that she can come back, let me turn my phone up so we can talk face to face here. That when she feels that she can come back, um you're going to have to decide on time frames, because you're doing your bead sales now on Wednesdays, which is the day she always had hers, and you're doing Beading with Besties on Sunday nights, which is when she had her wrap up. So, as I see it, the only thing is that, hi, Leanna, the only thing that would have to be meshed out between the two of you is what time frames you're going to do. Because, if you're still going to do Beading with Besties, um, and she wants to do her Amy's wind up on Sunday nights, you guys are going to have to either do it, stack them, so one's first and then the other one comes second, or one of you are going to have to change your days, and that's the only issue I can see as far as that's concerned, because it's you can't be just working on stuff and have nothing. You know what I mean? I'm sure you do. I mean, you need the recognition for you. I mean, because you're doing everything right now. So, you know, and we all share. I mean, I know that a lot of my subscribers are the same as Randy's subscribers and Amy's subscribers. She doesn't want to do them at all. She doesn't want to do live streams at all. Wow. That sucks. Is she beating at least? I haven't gone to her channel lately to see if she's got any new videos up. I should. But I haven't. So I'll have to do that. But she doesn't want to do live streams at all anymore. Well, I hope she pops out of that, because she is great on live streams. But what can you say? You can't change it. You have to go along with what works for her. She can't force herself to do something if she doesn't feel like she can. But that's too bad, because she was always a great live stream force. I always enjoyed her live streams, so that's too bad. So anyway, yeah. Um, exactly. That's exactly right, Beth. um, she should say, this is, I don't feel I can, even if she just puts out a short and says, I'm having personal problems and I don't think I can do live streams anymore. So I'm turning the reins over to Heather. It would be just simple, and it wouldn't even take her, you can do a short in either 30 seconds or 3 minutes. Do a 30-second short. I'm not doing lives anymore. I don't feel like I can. I have some personal problems and I don't feel like I can do live streams anymore. So, so I agree with Beth. She should, if you're taking flack because you have stepped up to this, and taken over because she's left it more or less, then you shouldn't take flack for it, and she should let folks know that it's just the way it is. So yeah, you guys were always good feeding off of each other kind of thing. um and even when she was there with you in Arizona and you guys did the live cell, she didn't come forward at all. I mean, except for on that little short where she was standing behind you waving. uh, I but I'm really sorry to hear that she still doesn't feel up to doing the lives anymore. Like I said, I thought she was she's such a great bubbly personality that it was always good to see her. And, always had laughs, when she was doing her shows. So it was good to have that too. But, what can you say? You can't do anything. We can't twist her arm and say, you got to do them. You can't. And I think it's wonderful that Heather has stepped up and more or less taken her spots to keep it filled in, keep it alive, and hopefully someday Amy will fill up to coming back. And even if she just pops in and does a beating with besties with Heather, that would be great. Have you talked to her about that, Heather? Can you could she do a beating besties with you? That way she's there, but she's not. That's exactly true, Mary. Ignore them. If people are being idiots, just ignore them. And that's sort of what I do when people say something bad to me. I might send a little explanation. Um, like sometimes when I'm off screen and I see that I am, and I might put a little thing in, I'm sorry I'm off screen, I didn't mean to be, I'm working with wire, and wire is a pain in the rear because it tries to grab everything, and so you need a little more space, and I tend to pull it towards me, and I realize that, and I'm trying to conquer that, but it doesn't always work. And or like I said with the lady who complained that my video should have only been 15 minutes, and I was like, don't watch it if you don't want to. So yeah, go ahead and ask her, Heather. She might be all right to come on your beating besties, and and that might give her that little teeny bit of confidence back that she seems to need. But I don't think she's going to escape this without scars, Bonnie. I know what's going on, and it's rough, and I don't think she's going to escape it without scars, but hopefully those scars will heal over and won't be debilitating after a while, hopefully. But none of us make it through issues like this without some scars. So we just have to learn to live with those scars. So, unfortunately, and everybody in life has those stars, uh, have those scars, and in one way or another, you've got scars. You can't reach the age that we are, most of us, without having scars of some type. And so, unfortunately, this is probably quite true, Leanna. She can't see too far into the future right now. And none of us can see into the future, and we just have to keep going on. It's a way of life. You have to just keep going on. And and if she doesn't think she can do the lives, you got to respect that. But at the same time, you got to she needs to realize we're all gunning for her. We're all hoping for the best for her. We all would give her a ton of support if um, if she feels like she can. I mean, look at Randy. Randy lost her baby, and she's back, and she's I mean, she's holding her own. She's doing pretty good. I know she has bad moments because she talks to me, but all in all, she's bounced back better than I expected her to, and under the circumstances. And her circumstances were about the worst you can get. So, um, I I certainly hope that's very true, Leanne. A lot of us have been. If you talk to most of us, a lot of you'll find a lot of us are on our second marriage. My first one only lasted 5 years, and my husband was abusive. So, I I understand what she's going through as far as that is concerned. But at the same time, well, I shouldn't say anything because I locked myself up in my parents' house and didn't go out for 6 months, just about after I left wine. So, okay. What happened, Heather? Something happened bad? Did you want to talk to the whole group about it, or would you rather just send me a message? Or are you talking about the person that was saying that you were trying to steal Amy's subscribers? About the person who's tried to steal Amy's subscribers. Yeah, I understand. And um we need to support each other. So you're telling us that was not a problem. Um, it let us, be able to counteract that for you in a way. I hope, and you'll never fail to get somebody, acting like an ass. I'm sorry about the word, but it's the true. It's just true. So so you just have to ignore those ones, or just give them a simple explanation and then let it go. That's what I generally do when I get some crap. I'll just say, I'm sorry you feel that way, but like with when I go off screen, I'll say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I know I did, and hopefully it wasn't too big of a problem for you. Um, and I'm trying to do better. I have a new tripod right now, so I'm still trying to get honed in on where I want everything to be with that. And though I think I've been doing better, hopefully. And you just have to say, I'm I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's the way it is. So you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I'd get hold of her and ask her if she wants to do beating besties. that little hour that she's there with you, let's face it, she doesn't have to be on camera all the time when you're doing that. I wasn't, Becky wasn't, Gina wasn't. So, and it was fun. We enjoyed it. So, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. So, I would just say ask her. All she can do is say no, she doesn't feel up to it. And but that little push bringing her back on camera even for that 1 hour might help her, you know? So, but yeah, I know a lot of us have been through the same thing that she has, more or less. I know she had some separate issues with hers. Um, do all of you guys know what's going on with Amy? Because I don't know if everybody does, so I don't know if we want to actually get into it. But sh you know, she has to get her confidence back because that's the long and the short of it. What if you do a replay and notice a bugger? Oh boy. But anyway, we all get them. You know, we all get that do contact do lives and such. We or even regular recorded videos. Any of us that do this kind of stuff always get at least one person that always likes to be a donkey. So, um, so that's you know, just the way it is. So, anyway, I don't know if everybody knows what is going on with Amy, so I won't get into it a whole crap load. But I do know that everybody knows she's going through a divorce. So there is that issue, but there's more to it than just that she's going through a divorce. Um, so I know that Amy herself, I think the last time she was on, more or less on Alive, mentioned that she was going through a divorce, and that was she was having issues with it, and so um, but since it's her personal business, unless everybody already knows what's going on, I don't want to air it out too much. So anyway, we've been on for almost an hour and a half, this last half hour just talking. So exactly, Bonnie, hang in there. Life is short. Love what you do what you love, and don't let anybody drag you down. That's the best we can ever say for anything. Don't let anybody drag you down. You are you. You need to be true to yourself. Um, and if somebody else says that you're not good enough for them, hey, walk away. You can go away. I don't need you. So, you know, so there is that issue to contend with. But that has always been my personal philosophy. You don't like me, you don't have to be here. Um, yeah, that is very true, Leanna. Her self-confidence has been kicked into the gutter. And that's why I just suggested to Heather that she ask her to do Beating Besties, because I think that that would help her confidence a lot if she were to get back on, even for just an hour or two. So, anyway, um, we've been on for an hour and a half. I hope everybody's had a nice visit. We're going to take off now for the day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll figure out something to make tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll make some fairy ear blanks at least. Or we'll paint the pieces I want to use on the fairy ears if I design some. So. So, um, anyway, I know a divorce can be hard. Like I said, I've been through one. My first husband was abusive and um, more emotionally abusive than physically, but still abusive. You know, when you're told you're not good enough for anything for long enough, you start to believe it after a while. So, um, so I know, like I said, when I first got divorced, I came really close to committing suicide before I left, and uh, and I never told anybody really what was going on. After a while, I think my family realized after I was gone for a while because I'd make little comments and that would, speak to where I had been at. Um, I remember I went with my sister and my mother to a 4th of July celebration when I first started getting out of the house again. And I said, Gosh, I didn't even know we had this going on here in town. And my sister looked at me and said, Well, that's because you were always in a cage. And I'm like, and I realized that she was right. I had been. So it was really good to get out of the cage. And so we all we all have things we go through, and unfortunately we all have scars we carry. And I don't think that's anything that we can get away from it. If we live life, if we live life, uh, we're always going to carry some scars. So anyway, I think it's time to go for today. We'll see you all tomorrow. We can talk more tomorrow about this or anything else you want to talk about, as well as I will figure out something to make because I really want to make something. So yeah, beading saved me. I think beading has saved a lot of us. I think it's helped a lot of us. Um, it certainly lets us. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate the hugs back at you. And now, my present husband, there's been times when I want to hit him over the head with a 2x4, but I've never really had a desire to divorce him. He's pretty good. He supports me really nicely, though there are times when he can be a jackass, just like any other man or any other woman for that matter, because let's face it, we all can be jerks if we really want to be. Um, so, uh, but we've been married for over 30 years now, so this one's obviously a lot more of a keeper. So, um, so anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll see you all tomorrow. Like I said, if we want to discuss some more personal things again, I don't mind. I mean, I'm an open book. Anyway, I try to be. Um, I have my scars. I know everybody has their scars, like I said, and we just have to live. We have to learn to live with them. So we'll all see. I'll see you all later, and I hope you all had a nice visit with me, and liked looking at all my pretty pink beads from PK. I think we had some really nice ones in there, and we'll see y'all later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. Bye bye.